Guys, today we're gonna be talking about how I bought my first house in America. So the story goes like this. I'm gonna talk about it in a way. I'm tired. I just got back from work, guys. So I was gonna take a nap before I do this video. I'm like, let me just do it real quick before I take a nap. So in a way that I don't have to talk about what is in my book, because what is in my book is separate from it's kind of contradicted what is I was supposed to talk about, but I'm not gonna even try to talk about, so that if you talk about the book, so that if you don't buy the book, you don't get the story. So if you buy the book, you get the story. So this is the story about how I got the house. So back from when I left, went to Europe, and my mom was alive. So I thought my mom was going to be alive, and I started investing in Nigeria. I invest in Nigeria. I have a house over there. I have two houses over there. And then I was planning on going back. I thought one day I will be able to go back home and relocate, and stay home. Or maybe go, not live there. I can't ever live back home anymore. I can probably visit for vacation. Maybe visit, when I'm home, or probably take my kids home. So, yeah, so that's how it goes. So I started investing in Nigeria, and then my mom passed away. So when my mom passed away, I'm like, okay, so now that she passed away, what am I gonna do? It's gonna be a change of plan. I thought maybe my mom is back home. Let me do this investment back home because of my mom. I'll be going home and spending like a month, 3 weeks, or whenever I needed to go back home, I needed a place to stay. So that was when I started my first house, even before because I was born in Nigeria. So I had my first house in Nigeria before my first daughter was born. My mom used to live there before she passed away. So that house is still over there rented. And then I have another house that I was doing that I was not done yet before my mom passed away. So when I went home 2016, I'm like, okay, I look at the condition of my house. Since my house passed away, now I have two houses and one land in Lagos. So the land in Lagos is cost 25 to 30,000 US dollar. That's how much the land was. I bought the land for 20. So as time goes on, the money increases as you buy the land. So now it becomes 30,000 US dollars. And then I went back home 2016 with my kids, and I see the condition back home. I'm like, well, I will visit, but I don't think I can ever live here. As long as my mom passed away already, I don't have my mom there. I don't have my dad. I don't have anybody back home. So everything now changed. That's when I started thinking about maybe I should sell one of the house, because it doesn't make sense to be renting over here and be working your house off and trying to put a mansion back home where you don't even go, where you don't go often, or where you don't stay there. It doesn't make sense to build it to the beauty house back home. So that's when we went home, I see the condition of the place. I'm like, okay, I'm going to sell these two houses. And when I come to America, I'm going to buy me a house, you know? Yeah, so now when I came, that's what I did. I started putting the house in African market, trying to sell it. But my family didn't want me to sell it. So I kind of have a little bit problem with my family. They didn't know the situation I was over here. Like, I was not having a place to go. I was not having a place to go, me and my kids. They didn't know, with 5 kids, being abused in abuse relationship. Most of my family but didn't know what I went through. They didn't know what I was going through at the time. I was close to them, but I was not really, really close to them. They didn't really know, because in Africa it's a taboo. You can't really talk about your relationship. They're gonna think you're the problem. You can't really talk about what you're going through in your marriage, because they think marriage is what better for us. You better stay there, do or die. I was not gonna die in that marriage, so I left. Fast forward again, so nothing in America, still renting. It's hard for when you say you have 5 kids, nobody want to rent a house for you. So yeah, so when we left New Jersey due to domestic violence abuse, when I got over here, I'm like, okay, I was in a shelter. I'm trying not to talk about what is in my book, because part two is gonna come out of my book. So we was moving here and there, and I'm like, okay, my daughter was like, Mom, why don't you sell the house back home? Christabel has been saying it. You build a house back home, it doesn't make sense. Build a house in America. We don't live back home. You can go and visit. We can stay in a hotel. We can stay in one of your houses. I'm like, that makes sense. That's when I was trying now to sell that makes sense. I've been thinking about it ever since my mom passed away. So that's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna do that. And then I did. So I started putting it on the market. My family didn't want me to sell it. We had some issues. That's why I started talking to my family for a while. We had some problems of me trying to sell the house. And then so after all that problem, my brother and I ended up buying the house. So my brother buy the house, and my family didn't know that I have another land that cost 30,000 US dollars in Lagos. And then Yeah, so I look for buyer for that one. The lawyer over there that I have in back home helped me to sell that one, and my friend that was back home, people that I purchased the land from. So I sold that one. I'm like, okay, let me try to look for a house over here to buy. And we started looking for a house. I didn't make enough. That time I was working part-time. I was not working full-time, And then I did have a co-signer. So everywhere I go, they would tell me I'm not qualified. I'm not qualified. So I started to work like a full-time job. But still, I was still not qualified for the kind of house that I want, like a 5 bedroom and a 2 bathroom or a 3 bathroom. There's no way I was gonna be qualified for that. So he went into looking for like a fix it up kind of house, like abandoned house that you can buy. So I talked to my real estate. Since I'm not qualified, what if I have cash? Because I had $30,000 at a time to pull down as a down payment. So I said to my real estate, what if I have like 40,000 US dollars that I can just buy cash on the house, then I can fix it up? Do you have something like that, like a fix it up kind of house? She was like, yeah, we have something like that, and yeah, we can start looking, since I've been trying to buy it and I'm not qualified. So that's when I started looking. So I started looking and looking like a couple of houses until I find where we're staying now. So this came up as $35,000. So now it doesn't have a roof. It doesn't have windows. It doesn't have the floor. A lot of stuff was messed up with the house. A lot of stuff was wrong with it. I said, fix it up. That's what I could afford at the time. So I'm like, okay, let's just buy it, and I will take time to fix it up. Coming over here to upstate New York, that's not where I wanted to be. I just run away because of the domestic violence abuse. This is like a temporary place right now for me to like pick up space, pick up stuff, and arrange myself and move to where I really, really want to be. Because coming from New Jersey all the way to upstate New York, like village kind of, I would say village and in the middle of nowhere, not knowing anybody, it was really hard. But all of them is all in my book. I don't want to talk too much because if I tell you in this video, tell me how you're going to read the book. What are you going to want to buy in the book? Because the story is already here. So guys, fast forward to me buying the house. I got the house. Oh, it was like very messed up. No roof, nothing. I have a video over there. I'm going to try to repost the video again. So that's how I was able to buy my first house. 35 plus the 5, it was like 40,000 US. And then we started fixing. I've been fixing the house. I got the house 2020, 2021 or 2022. That's what, back then when I filed for my divorce, it was supposed to be over back then. So I got the house and I started fixing it up, and I did a GoFundMe. Nobody did really donate to my GoFundMe. I was doing TikTok. I was doing some kind of stupid videos. I was making money off of those videos back then. TikTok was not, it was not a lot of people doing TikTok. So my family member was thinking something is wrong with her. She's going crazy. But then I had diagnosed with depression, all kind of stuff. So some of my video was horrible. If you see, be like, wait, that's you? Are you crazy or something wrong with you? Those videos I was doing it for view. I was doing it for the money. I made some money from TikTok, but not a lot. So I tried to start a GoFundMe for me to face the heart. Nobody really donated to the GoFundMe. Few people donated, but not a lot of people. So I did what I can do. I closed the GoFundMe down. I think GoFundMe turned it down and just send the money. But I tell my family member, if you want to help me, this is my cash app or whatever. Well, nobody really turned up. Like, people don't help. So family don't really help. Your family, there's a lot of family. I'm not gonna even go there. So every family has their own problem. My family problem is like family problem. I'm not gonna bring it here. So then got the house. We started fixing it up, and then the roof was leaking. There was no roof. We was staying here for about a year. So I was able to apply for something like what is it called? Restore Habitat of Humanity. I tell them I wanted to fix the house, and then there was like, you have to apply. I applied and I was on the waiting list, give them my pay stub, and they look at everything. When they look at everything, they'll be like, okay, we can't put you on the waiting list to let you know if you're qualified for some money to get your roof done. So I was on the waiting list for a while, and then one day they called me and they were like, oh, Josephine, you can come around. We have money for you for your roof. I'm like, oh, thank God. So I was able to get that done with the roof. Some of the money I have to take a loan from the bank to fix the roof, and I got some credit card from Home Depot so I can be able to fix the room. I just did the kitchen, bathroom, and the kids' room so that the kids can able to have a place to stay. The first place I did was the kids' room. All the room was done. It was painted. It was done. We didn't have a roof. We had to cover the roof with We have to cover the roof with something from Home Depot, like some kind of plastic that they used to cover roof when your roof is leaking. We have to cover it up with that for like 2 years, you know. Then I got the money and then we fixed the roof. So ever since then, I have been fixing this house, you know. I have been fixing the house and it's still not where I want it to be, but it was livable. It was good enough. It's better than you having to go and rent a place. Nobody wants to rent for you. When you say you have 5 kids, people are going to be like, 5 kids? No, we don't have enough room. When I take 3 bedroom for 5 kids, they'll be like, oh, 3 bedroom is not for 5 kids, for 3 kids or 2 kids, you know. And over here, they don't really have a lot of 5 bedroom or 4 bedroom. It was hard to get a place. So most of the time we have to take a 2 bedroom or 2.5 bedroom, whatever we can find, whatever I can afford. That's what we're just living. When we was able to get this house, it was like a godsend. So at least have a roof over our head. So now we did the roof, and then after doing the roof, I was fixing the inside. You know, you guys, if you go to my video, I had a lot of video. So I'm gonna try to repost the house video before what it looked like and what it looked like now. A lot of people on my TikTok or YouTube was asking me, Auntie, you never show us the video of your house. You bought the house. I know you need to renovate the house. What happened to the house and stuff like that? I'm like, yeah, that's what happened to the house. So, yeah, so let's fast forward to fixing the house. Now the house is done. So that's my first house. And then, yeah. And now it's time for me to move on to the next stage of my life. So that was my first house. I will post the video later. My first house is done. So now that the kids are almost done with school, Ken is almost done with college, I think it's about time for me to move to my final destination. And then I will let you guys know on my next video how I tried to go to Florida last year, because Florida is where I wanted to move to. How I tried to go to Florida last year and try to like achieve a house. It didn't work out. And then I had to come back. I spent 3 months over there. It didn't work out. I had to come back. So that was a whole shit show. I'm not going to say that in this video. So I'm going to go make a video for that. My next video will be about that. Comment part 2 on this video if you like to hear the story about how I went to Florida last year and trying to get the house over there that I didn't work out. I will tell you guys the story time about that. I think we're going to do that story time tomorrow. If you guys comment part 2, I will give you that video. And yeah, so now my divorce is over. It's time to explore. It's time to talk, you know. Domestic violence is like, I was depressed. I was diagnosed with depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, HG. I have HGHs. That was like adults, like can't sit in one place, move, thinking like, when you think somebody's following you, I don't know what that is, like 5 depression. I was going to therapy. I was going to counseling in domestic violence shelter. So I tried getting off my medication because I had kids and I had to work. I don't want to be on disability, or I don't want to be looked at as, or I don't want to take that, what happened to me, as an excuse. So I have to work very, very, very hard to get me to where I want to be, you know. So I'm very happy, and God has been good to me, you know, that this house is done. And now I'm on my journey to my next house. And then I will talk to you about on the next video about, you know, how I'm trying to get the house and what's going to be the next chapter of my life, guys. My divorce is over and I'm very happy. I went through domestic violence for 14 years. It was not a joke. So make sure you guys get the book. If you don't want to get the copy of the book, you can read the book on Kindle Fire, and I will have part 2 coming up. Okay, guys? So guys, I will see you guys on my next video. That's how I got my first house. That's how I bought my first house. That's what we're saying now. And God has been so good to me, my kids. It wasn't easy at all, you know. So now that the kids are growing, and I've been here for almost 8 years. I didn't think I would stay here for that long, but I took that long to get this house ready and for me to move on to the next step of my life. It took that long for my divorce to be over. So just imagine being a single mother of 5 and going through all this stuff and still try to smile. Trying to smile with depression, anxiety, and all that. Try to put a smile on people's face, you know. If I look at some of my video back then, be like, oh yeah, something was really wrong with me, but I know what it was, but I don't know. I can't explain it. Just too depressed to explain, you know. So yes, guys, thank you for watching this video. I told you guys, like I said, subscribe. There's gonna be more coming up, you know. My life just began. My divorce is over, guys. I cannot believe it. Domestic violence is not a joke. If you are going through it, I did it with 5 kids. Make sure you get out of it. You can do it. You can get out of it. Okay, guys? That's all I have to say. Bye. See you on my next video.